Hello, Sagittarius. This is Michelle, and I'm here to do your November 2021 tarot reading. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to the Sagittarius people born in November and December. But this is the November 2021 tarot reading. We're going to use the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. I just love this deck. It's a little big for my hands, so you're going to see that I'm going to struggle with it a little bit. But I just love this deck. We're also going to bring in some cards from the Tarocco Soprafino. Now, this is another reproduction deck by Il Meneghello from 1835. And so that will be a lot of fun. And then I will also bring in a card from Divine Doors. Before we get started, though, I also brought in the astrology chart for November because I did an astrology reading for all the signs in November. It was a lot of fun. I took all these notes as I went along, and so you might have some fun with that. You can check it out at the channel. There is actually something interesting in this reading going on that has to do with Sagittarius and the South Node, actually both the nodes, because the nodes will be moving out of those signs and backwards through the zodiac fairly soon. And so that might be interesting to look at. Okay, so that was just a little note about the astrology reading. And now we're going to go ahead and get started with the tarot reading. This is for Sagittarius, for my Sagittarius friends. What are the messages that we need to know for the sign of Sagittarius? For the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. A little bit of a silly shuffle there. Kind of a little silly vibe coming through, which is interesting. Okay. King of Coins on the bottom of the deck, though, so somebody is being very practical, potentially about money. We'll just kind of keep that sort of in the background, in the back of our minds as we pull cards. Seven of Wands coming in. Knight of Swords, okay. Our trusty Knight of Swords, because I've pulled it so many times in the past like 4 months. Knight of Cups coming in, so 2 knights. Page of Coins. Well, I have to say this, Sagittarius, I think I'm hearing you've been in the thick of it. I mean, sort of like kind of fighting your way. I think you're already, I want to say like at the top, I was going to say fighting your way to the top. But I think you're already in a sense there. I do feel potentially this has to do with a new job or a new business, some sort of new business perhaps that you've been thinking about. There are challenges, though. There are challenges to overcome, and I think that you've been looking for some good news on this front. All right, so looking for some good news on this front. You might be questioning, wondering, okay, how am I going to overcome this next particular hurdle? Page of Cups coming in, and Judgment, followed by the Four of Wands. I think, Sagittarius, in one sense, your plans are coming to fruition. All right. So I think you're really kind of in the thick of it in a way. I'm not really sensing, at least at this point, like, the beginning of a cycle or the end of the cycle. We sometimes, we get that a lot in tarot readings and astrology, of course, because those are very eventful times in life. But I'm feeling from this reading that you're really in the thick of it. And I feel that you would like things to stabilize even further. Let's continue on. Let's pull a few more cards. 9 of coins. The Hanged Man. Well, so just as I was saying and emphasizing this idea about not really being at the beginning of the cycle or an end of a cycle, I also have a sense like you would like that potentially to come about. So again, like a sensation of kind of being in the thick of it, some sort of competition, challenge, obstacles involved, and the sense that you would like things to actually become a little bit more stable. And now the Knight of Coins. All right, so we're looking at 3 knights in this reading so far with the Golden Tarot. I have to say, I feel like everything is ready. This is like a ready, set, go scenario. I'm hearing the word liftoff, and I'm sensing almost like a rocket launch type of situation. So it's almost like hearing a countdown, 10, 9, 8, kind of like that, all the way down. And I'm picking up this kind of liftoff sensation. Some of you might have plans involving some kind of a launch that is going to be connected with the new year. All right, so for some of you, it could almost be like that. I'm kind of getting that sensation of like that New Year's countdown, like 10, 9, the ball is dropping, kind of sensation. So a real sense of being on a timeline here for Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and pick some cards from the Soprafino. Cards from the Soprafino for Sagittarius. All right, this is the Queen of Coins. That's interesting. That kind of furthers the connection to like a new business or launching something. Perhaps like launching a website or launching, it could even be like a brick and mortar type of scenario business. 5 of Swords coming in. All right. One more card, please, for this row. One more card for Sagittarius. This is the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. I'm really liking this first row, I have to say. It's very positive indeed. And let's pick one more row. Let's pick one more row, and then we'll dig in a little bit to the Soprafino. 7 of Coins. All right, 7 of Coins. Consistent, certainly, with concepts that have come up so far in this reading. Here's the Death card, all right. Really, actually, always a positive card, at least to my mind. Even though I think it's a little dramatic, it can be a little dramatic, but it certainly signifies a transformation and change. And now we have the Queen of Wands coming in. Let's just take a look initially at the first 3 Soprafino cards. I'm being really careful with these cards, you can tell, because these, of course, this is a collector's deck, and it's number 1,505 out of 2,000. And I think a lot of people don't actually even use these decks. They just keep them on a shelf. So I'm treating them a little bit gingerly. And so that's why things look the way that they do. Okay, so we have the Queen of Coins, the 5 of Swords, and the 8 of Cups. again, so there's a sense that you are looking at some sort of shift or change relating at a work job. I'm really getting the sense of a new business type of launch. And I think the change is, I don't feel like it's going to be an easy situation to get through. For some of you, what I'm picking up is there's just, some of you could be working with actually like a punch list, like a list, like this big long list of things that you have to get through. And I'm just going to check this off and this off and this off. And I've got to get through all these things. And mentally, I feel like it can be a little bit taxing. But the Soprafino is also saying that where you're headed to is much more stability in terms of an emotional, from an emotional standpoint, much more stability. And so the goal, the goal that you have in mind, I feel it requires a level of discomfort initially. So let me put it that way. There might be, this is kind of like also like when when you're thinking about switching jobs or getting a new job, there's just a certain level of uncomfortableness and that needs to be tolerated in order to get to that more stable position. I feel that you really want to take charge of your finances. And the Queen of Wands coming in, this could represent you. And I feel, so I'm picking up this sense like, you know what? The time is now for me. Enough of the instability, enough of the uncertainty. If there are people in your life that are creating instability, you could be feeling like enough of that. I don't want to live that way anymore, is what I'm picking up. I deserve more. And I know that I can create a situation, a life where I have more. I have more. Not, I mean, it could be like more in terms of just, the bank account, but I'm feeling like more in terms of security. Here's the Two of Rods coming in. All right, let's pick two more cards for Sagittarius in the birthday month. Here's one more, and then we're going to do one more after that. All right, this is the Knight of Batons, the Knight of Batons. Fire again coming into the... Wow, okay, so we had three knights. We had the swords, the cups, and the coins. So we now have a knight from every suit. A knight from every suit in this reading. I feel that's definitely significant. And here's the Ace of Coins coming in. How beautiful to see. I'm feeling a tremendous amount of confirmation for you, Sagittarius. All right, so for those of you that are in the process of launching a new business, starting a new career, thinking about perhaps a change of career at this time in life, it might involve some kind of training or schooling. That might be involved for some of you, but clearly it's just time for a change. I feel that, again, the seed has been planted already. I don't feel, even though we have the New Start card coming in, all right, I do feel still that you're sort of in the middle of things. You're in the middle of things. Incredible determination coming through with this reading. There's absolutely no quitting. I feel that for some of you, too, there's a higher calling involved. All right, so let me say that there's a higher calling involved, or almost a feeling of like there's something that I need to achieve in my lifetime. It's like my directive to achieve this in this lifetime, and I am going to do it. I am going to follow this. I want to say it's actually feels like a spiritual directive. And eventually, you are going to get to this place where it really feels like I am just, now I've launched, right? So we're at the countdown, 10, 9, 8. We're at the countdown. You are headed towards 1 and blast off. That is where you are headed. Let's pick a card from Divine Doors for Sagittarius. Now, I've been picking these cards by feel. I don't know the messages on the back, and actually, my eyes are closed right now. Uh, Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's it. Which is interesting because I remember seeing that when I was shuffling. Okay, so let's take a look. Wow, what an interesting image. With all of these, this kind of reminds me of the section in your reading where we were talking about like having kind of like a punch list and like things that you have to check off and all of these steps to kind of take. And then you're going to reach this destination where you really feel like it's like blast off time. And of course, oh my goodness, all right, the message is birth. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. Oh my goodness. All right. It's absolutely perfect. It goes right along with this Ace of Coins. It goes right along actually with the Death card too. The idea of going through a transition and so that there can be a new birth. This is beautiful to see. I want to say that my wishes are with you, Sagittarius. I'm right there. I'm rooting for you. It looks very positive indeed. Very worthwhile. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure and a privilege to do these readings for you. And being that it is November, I also want to say a very special thank you to folks that have been watching these videos, liking, commenting, even watching a good portion of the video. All those things are so supportive, and I'm very, very appreciative. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.